Today is Friday, September 27th, and I'll be doing my walkthrough of my analysis of the S&P 500 through the ES chart. We're going to take a look at where we're at, what are some levels of interest here, and where's maybe some opportunity for some trades. So, as usual, I am going to start with a clean chart, and there's removing that, and we're starting off with the monthly as usual, right? So since it is the 27th, we are at a end of a trading week and entering a new month, so we should get a monthly close and that weekly close as well. Starting off again here, so as we've noted in our previous videos, we did hold this monthly at the wick right here, which did move us up. This happened, right? We had that move down in August, hit that, and and through September we've been moving up. On the weekly, going into what we were looking at for what to hold, originally we had this weekly, which did test, went down, did test, held it, created this weekly, which which we rejected from to come down and hit that monthly. And we came back, and since then gained this weekly. We closed above it last week, and this week looking to move up, and then we move up this week. And the next target after that would have been this weekly break right here. So now we have this backside. We're starting to create here this backside weekly and a front side right here. I'm going to mark that at the wick. And we do know that this was holding previously from back here, a daily. So now that we broke up, we created a new high, it looks like we had a move down or some rejection right there to come back and back test. So what I'm going to be looking at now is going into the daily and marking some more. So this weekly was formed off of this daily from back here. So this was originally what was holding the move down, and in the future, let's say this is what is going to hold the move up. We did move up. We have this weekly, which we broke above, and now from here created this smaller range up here. So what I'm looking for here is we did get above. We gained a daily right here, and we had this, actually we started from right here, this two candle move up. You have this daily that was created off of the hold of this weekly. So now, therefore, I'd say this is whatever is built on top of this structure right here is what needs to hold the move in order to continue moving up. This also tests here, so we do establish a trend on the daily. Right here, we do have the lower time frame trend that was being used, which was more on the hourly. But now that we had this test, this is pretty much evolved to there. We have our weekly, we have our daily. We got above that, and looks like we laddered this daily as well. So we've hard closed it yesterday, and I suspect we're going to come back down, which we probably already did come back down, have some kind of test right here, or this even hold this daily. This daily that was created yesterday is also the rejection point from the bottom of this candle. That gives us a little bit more clues to what needs to hold and continuing further. So let's go into the 4. So I'm looking at this daily right here and how this laddered, right? So here being the daily of that candle, which was, did I mark the wick or the body? I did. So here's the body. Let's stick with that. We know we don't want to go below this daily if we do get a move down. So our lowest 4-hour is down here, which this did test multiple times and held through. This also created in this time frame a trend like basically around here. We're going to keep this trend, and we had this 4, came down, tested, and we would need to be laddering this now on the hourly, follow the trail. So this actually have our hourly right here, and this, I'm going to mark that as our hourly. This hits, actually we're even hitting something much lower down here and laddering off of that. So I guess my question becomes, what mattered down here? And I believe it was, take a look, in the 15 minute, I believe we had this 15-minute origin right here, which was this 15-minute, well, actually it's right here, right? So we had this 15, laddering 15s, right? So this 15 from back here, ladders to right here, ladders to here, holds it, moves it up, comes back, ladders to right here, and this creates a 15-minute wick right here, which doesn't quite hit. We do have this 15-minute relatively untested. I'm going to take a look into this. So what do we have in here? This 15-minute has a 5. Down here, let's have a 5. And is there a 3? There is a 3 as well. So that's a 5. And here's a 3. And then you also have a, I think you do have a 3 from the back over here. That's, or let's, before I mark that, let's take a look at 5. Yeah, you did have a 5 right here. This 5 holds it, ladders it to right here, creates this 5 with a 5 backside, right? So I'd say even this 15 is also this 5 backside. So I'd be looking at this 15-minute at the wick if we were to head down here, and at the lowest, maybe down here. However, that also starts to get really below trend here. So, all right. So anyway, so we took a look at this range right now, going back to that 15-minute. So we have this range down here. This was also a hit of the hourly or 4-hour hourly 15. We would want to be gaining an hourly now, which is our hourly. So our hourly goes from here, tests to here, loses it, and then we hit our hourly right there. So this would have been the hourly to gain. This is a pretty quick test right here. So we have this hourly hits pretty much perfectly, right? Hit that, and then we hit something that was basically laddered from down here and then laddered to this, probably a 15-minute inside of this candle. So that hits, we test to right here, creating this hourly backside, and from yesterday we can see we did hit that. Hourly front side, yes we do. So we hold this hourly, basically greedy, and then this also seems to create a trend from, say, from here to here. Oops. This would be on a lower time frame. Let's take a look at what actually hit. There's the hourly. Here's the 15. It looks like it was going for the 15. Did it go for the 15 down here? Yeah, basically we went for the 15. This looks like it's a 15. So continuing the ladder between F15s. So 15 over there, and it gives us 15. No, actually, that's still a distribution candle, accumulation candle. Okay, there we go. So we got a 5. 5, this hits a 5-minute backside right here. Yeah, basically this 5-minute backside. So this is giving us basically a 5-minute trend from here to 5 minutes, and that creates for us, that also is that hit of that weekly, and I think this is also hitting the daily right here. So did it hit that recent daily that was just created? Is that weekly, daily, or actually maybe even, let's see, daily. Oh, you know what I didn't mark? This daily from back here. So this was also important. Actually, if we moved from weekly, this is the backside daily of that. So I think this is more important than the weekly. And then we had our front side weekly right here. So yeah, there we go. Right, so that hit, this is basically a hit of the backside. This backside, and in order for this to develop, this needs to create a, this would have needed to create a 4-hour candle, which it does right here. And also, we did hit an hourly. We also need to gain the hourly, so that would be this hourly to gain, which it does gain. And it's going from, so that's basically giving us now our levels for this moment. And then, let's say down into this hourly, if we do come back down here, we're testing and holding 15-minute right here. 15-minute, yep, 15-minute backside. And then here's the front side of this 15. That can still, I'd say actually both of these are this inverse. It's tested. This backside of 15 also came back tested. So for the most part, I think this is all tested now. We need to hold this. So that would mean we were right here. This 15, this 15 to hold. So we need this 15 to hold to move through, continue this move up. I think beyond that, we still have trend breaking down, and the front side of the daily still hasn't quite been tested. We could come back down here. We still have this trend down here at the 4. But I guess at this point, if we start to get too far below here, we have to consider like how far are we from breaking these trends. From the top side, we did go up. Let's go back here to daily, 4-hour, nothing. And the daily there was nothing. Here's that 4-hour to gain, and this is the 4-hour that protects it from being gained. So this is, I think, pretty key here. I think we need to gain both these candles, right? Get above this 4-hour, close above it, get above this weekly. So we kind of have a double hits of resistance right here, or double holds. I'd say this is kind of this is a prime target for a short to hold up against this trend and perhaps break it down. If we do gain that, I think we start to move up to the 4-hour break. That would be next to attack. So let's see what else we have. There's a 4-hour break, and on the hourly, come down here and this is our hourly to hold as well. And this also looks like it's developing an origin right here. So these being more these greedier spots up top to hit, if we do get past this. Here's, I guess, what I'm hypothesizing is a couple scenarios, right? We continue this hold, we gain the hourly, and this hourly needs to begin to hold it through. Since we have an hourly at the bottom, we have the daily here, we have this 4-hour that's going to try to gain, and then we have this hourly that it did gain. I suspect that this hourly could hold this through with the help of trend, and perhaps we get up to this part of the range. It would be either this daily wick or the body. Let me take a look at this hourly up here. Oh, sorry, this hourly wick or body. All right, so I'm marking the body, and I want to take a look at what's going on inside here. So we do have a 15 inside the hourly at this point. See it tested right there. This 15 actually moves back to right here, and it was actually this hold that was holding it, even this backside right here. So if we're looking at that, I'd say, yeah, this is our 15 to hold. So this would be our 15. We got a 15 backside, and there is a 15 front side as well. So a few targets here. Just now that I'll say that, okay, well, we are holding at 15. I think our hourly 15 are targets. If this can develop into an origin. So here's, I guess, going back to where I'm thinking about some level of hypothesis, right? So we hold this range until we get to the 4. The 4 could continue to hold to break this trend down. If we could go into the 4, that is a possibility. Come and hit the hourly, make several attempts, right? First attempt, hit the hourly to reject, or maybe even get up to this 15, which I think is the most likely that needs to hold it down. Moving above that, you have that 15-minute up top, and if we do start to get up here, this becomes a point where this just needs to hold over time. All right, so we have a couple hits here, and this just would need to hit, bounce, hit and bounce until we get to trend, and that breaks it. If this internal part 4-hour does hold it, I suspect that this trend is going to basically going to be near the end of it, and we might move back down to this part of the range. All right, so this 4-hour trend, I think, may be more reliable since it was created before the daily. So the daily was only recently created, right? We created the daily right here on the 25th, whereas this 4-hour was created on the 23rd. So this is older. So this would have more precedence, I guess, over this. So we could come back down here, hit that, and not hard close a daily, which can also move it up. So this is what I'm watching for. Is I think watch how short opportunities react up here. I think this could be. We also actually, before I do that, I just noticed something else. Before I continue, we did have a 4 right here that was created. So this would be next in line to this 4, actually, not the top. So you have this 4 that's attempting to gain. I think we gain that, gains, then we could have a chance at the top up here. Hitting that and then seeing if this, and then within that 4, we have that hourly from back here. And we do have, actually, we don't have an hourly inside this 4 yet. We need to still build that hourly in here. Do we have something else that could do it? 15 origin could become an hourly. We have this 15 right here. This failed to hold. We have this one. This 15 not been tested yet. I think we can still come back down here to test this. And then you have a backside down here. So you still have room to come back down and create the rest of this, create the rest of the, the structure that's needed to hold the move up. But I believe if this doesn't create properly, then, we do have, 4 hour does not create its levels underneath it, being, well, let me mark this from the wick. Let's see if there's, so we have 4, actually we do. We have 4, we have an hourly backside over here, which would be the break. And then you have your hourly right here, which needs to gain, and that's failing. That's not, sorry, that's trying to do that right now, not failing. And then you have your 15 to gain right here. So this 15 to gain. And we are starting to gain this 15, which also is, we do, in order for this, I'd say we need to hit this break up here. Okay. I think this is getting a little more confusing, but there's a lot of levels in here. I think also at the same time, some good opportunities. So what I'm looking at is for this 4 hour to hold it, and we possibly can come in here to test something up here. So I like this 15, maybe push into this 15, hold that, and move for a move down, and this 4 hour to hold it. And then we'd come back and test this 4 hour. This does give a really small range in here, so this could basically end up chopping here for some time until it decides. At the lowest, you have this hourly that is trying to gain, which also is, well, this hourly from back here didn't hold. We come down here, this hourly needs to hold it next. And then from the even greedier side, we came down here, we created this 15, which also still hasn't tested either. I think we could still come back down here as well. You got a backside inside right there. I think this 15 could also still be a test. That tests to right here, holds to right here, and this is what basically is continuing to hold this move from this part. So this part of the range is still untested. I suspect, again, this needs to continue to develop. I think we could still have a chance at hitting these down here. Right, so we're also going to be getting a weekly close and a monthly close. I would say, well, right now we are going to be hard closing this for the week, in which I'd say if we are going to come back test, we'd have to go back to the weekly rejection. The weekly, let's say we close this candle green, the weekly rejection is down here, which looks like to be aligned with this 4. Into that, which is this 4, daily, the 4. And I'm gonna basically, we need to trade. This is the ladder that would need to follow through. So 4 to 4 to 4 right here, and then this 4 actually not quite tested. I mean, we did go up, come back down, hold it. So this 4 is created. This 4 holds the move right here. That this 4 holds the move, gets the daily, and also whatever level we said we're down there. So making this the next 4 to hold. This 4 also holds, and this 4 needs to create an hourly. So this 4 creates this hourly, which now is become a hold right here. Again, you have that hourly. You're going to have the same scenario here where the rejection or the hourly to gain is above the hourly hold. So I guess these are pretty much the levels I'm looking for, right? I think I'm looking up for shorts up here. Again, this being more greedy and what needs to hold over time, and this 4 hour, possibly the 15 for a sharp move back down to test whatever 4 hour gets created here, or test this structure basically, and test trend. If anything's to hold here, I'd say it has to be this hourly from back here. Yeah, if we do gain that, I think we have to come back down and hold that for some type of succession. If this does not able to regain this right here, I think we open up to come back and test down here and then make another attempt to get above that. But again, that by that time we're below trend, so I think that also opens up for a possibility to head back to these lower levels down here, or this basically this actually the daily front side is not quite tested yet too. So still, we did come back. We gained it right here and hard closed it, and we need to come back and test it. I'd say this could be a good place for to hold this for the next part of the move up, and maybe even expand this daily trend further out to be something similar to the 4. Yeah, something around right there. I think this could be where it goes, what we do here. Hit that, come back down, yeah, something around there. This is just too newly created, so I'm going to just remove that from my chart personally for less confusion. So I think that's it for the levels. In terms of long-term outlook, this is very short-term, right? If we hold the top, in order for us to have continuation up, we have to come and break the top, and that means breaking this upper range, that 15-minute backside right there. Getting into that, I think we open up to start continuing the move up. That if the top holds, we need to hold it against trend for basically until this amount of time, right, into next week. And either we from there we'll have that breakup and a continuation of the breakout, or we'll have our rejection and we have the beginning of our move down. In terms of a move down, I don't want to do that. In terms of a move down, what still is like that, let's say we start to get our weekly candle, the red here, and we have to hold this back here, which this would need to continue to hold, right? We would have come back down here. This holds it. Perhaps since we do hit maybe this backside of this front side on the daily, we could head back down here. The other place is down here too. So if we hit this monthly, it does build this weekly right here would need to build a daily. So let's trail it that way instead. So this would be next. What did I do here? All right, so we have this daily. I'm not going to keep that on here for now. Backside daily. We have the front side of this daily. So let's look at what could be on the front side. So this 4, which was ultimately everything that was holding it. This 4 is also has a 1 hour down here on the back. And yeah, we're probably looking at this 1 hour is the greediest part of this. This 1 hour to hold it. This 1 hour could hold it still, possibly, and give it a chance. 1 hour, is there anything with 15? Yeah, we do have 15. The 15 down here, which was actually the 15, again, holding it through time. We're there and started this 15-minute ladder to here, to here, to here. So I think at the greediest, you got this 15. And that creates a 15 as well on the front. So 15 back. Something basically we're gonna be looking at these. You have this hourly range right here. That's still really untested. This backside holds. Do we hit a hit on this one? And we don't have a hit down here either. So this part of the range is pretty much untouched. I think that would be the next area for this to, if we are moving down, this could be the next area to try and hold it. However, I don't see anything here that could create a long-term trend. Maybe it's no, I don't like this daily move right here. Only one candle. I think if trend is going to be created, it needs to be created from up here. Move back down here will just, I think, tell us that we're moving down and top is holding, and therefore starting to create a downtrend for this to hold over time. I think that would be what I'd be looking at, is this would need to hold over time and be able to break whatever downtrend gets created from the top. If this holds, we can break the top. If this doesn't hold, then we open up for a move down to the lower part of the chart. And as far as trends, we could have our weekly trend right here, which we could come and back test. I think that is a possibility, right? Close this above here for the week, come back down to back test into this, back test the weekly trend. And there you have some levels out here. This would need to hold, which lines up with whatever's going on in there. Okay, yeah, so I think that's a little more clear, right? So as long as we don't hit back under this trend, I think we should be okay. So I think that's what I'm looking at for right now. See if this top holds. There's a level I did see if the top holds. Here are the levels, so that could hold it. If it's going to continue to ladder and hold, we're going to start to ladder from back down here. Perhaps we have some more hits down here as well before we can move up. But there should be a nice range for us to play with. I'd say from up here, up here to down to this. I think this, they basically have giving us our range, looking, somewhere like this box for the time being, um, until we get to an external decision point. Okay, good stuff. Let's see how this plays out. I think in the long term, if does this break the top, I think everything is conditional. Was what I'm trying to say, right? We get above here, then we do have continuation. We break below trend and we start to attack these levels, or we get under this weekly trend again, then we are not in good shape. I think if you're, just playing this is, if you think this is gonna, if you're playing for the breakup, try and grab some longs from the bottom and give it some time to see if it breaks up. Playing the short, that's going to be more tricky, right? I think you have to get, see how this, see if this can develop and hold over time. There would be probably some, or see if any of these other levels just completely hold it and these remain untouched. For continuation, this needs to break, and depending on what hits, will give us some different data points. Okay, that's it for today. Let's see how this develops into next week.